Welcome, everybody, to the FTI podcast, Lucky 13. For all you Swifties out there, apparently that's our favorite number. Sure. So it was it's quite an interesting weekend. We only had IndyCar and NASCAR and Mother's Day. So Chris, how was your weekend?
Well, you know my weekend. You guys came and visited me during my 18-hour overtime shift while I sat and played the new Zelda game all day. So, and then yesterday, fixed my toilet and watched the NASCAR race. So, very eventful day.
Very exciting. I can't remember what I did Friday. Jeez. Saturday, I did nothing. I helped clean. And then I watched the race, and then I left to go see you. And then I helped my dad with the go-kart trailer, and then yesterday went out on the boat. Helped my dad put the boat in the water, and as you can see, I got a little sun, a little red, from being out on the boat twice, and yeah, it was a little that reflection of the water really gets you.
Yeah.
And then I did get some amazing news last Monday evening, that the FTI, well, Guy, one of us, will be at the Detroit, Michigan IndyCar race, and I was able to find a hotel
That's good.
That was not in a sketchy area. I'm actually staying right next to Roush Enterprises.
Oh, nice.
Their factory and headquarters. So it's pretty cool.
What week is that?
It's the one right after Memorial Day.
So the 4th, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing what's on my schedule. If there is anything good, it's Club Loose. I could go do some drift stuff or actually take a weekend off, since the next two are busy. And then we go into the big stretch. That'll probably be my only week off, because we're pretty much going every weekend through July now.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. You know, we have not to get too ahead of ourselves, but tomorrow we're gonna be at Wayne County, checking out the High Limit series put on by a Mr. Kyle Larson. And
$32,000 to win that tomorrow.
Holy crap, $2,000 to win.
32.
32,000?
32. You get 1,500 just for starting.
Holy fudge. Dude,
that's the whole purpose. That's why it's called High Limits, is to bring in some high money events in the middle of the week.
Didn't he create this series because the Chili Bowl and all that weren't paying high enough?
Yeah, so is a lot of that stuff. Yeah. I was thinking about that last night. I mean, you got some of these teams that bring multiple cars to the Chili Bowl, and I think the pot's like $10,000.
Holy crap, that's it.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. And that's like the biggest dirt event.
Yeah, dirt midget event. Yeah, but short of the Eldora Million, I would say, and Knoxville Nationals. I mean, it's probably top 5. Probably top 5.
Yeah, maybe we'll be allowed to go to the Eldora Million. You know, hopefully our follower count's up high. IndyCar doesn't seem to mind.
Yeah, so what'd you think of the IndyCar race Saturday?
I mean, it's an Indy road course race. It's not exciting. It could probably be compared to watching an F1 race. It's not much goes on.
Yeah.
The Indy road course is just kind of I don't like that. Maybe I just don't like Indianapolis. Maybe I just have a bias against Indianapolis.
Just the whole month of May in IndyCar is just thrown out the window for Kyle. Just none of it.
The only good thing is my birthday. And that's it. Nothing else about May is good. I mean, there was a little, some stuff that happened on lap 1 with God, who was it? It was Graham Rahal, I think, got turned sideways. I think it was Newgarden. It was really throwing me off. They had Newgarden in, a snap-on livery that was really close in similarity to Will Powers, and it was even throwing off the guys in the booth, which is, I don't know why IndyCar does this, and they have to have a new livery every week.
We'll get into that with NASCAR later, but
don't get me started on that.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't too exciting of a race. You guys came down to see me. What? Probably last third of the race. No, not even last.
No,
third,
it was like over.
Laps. Yeah. So
I walked in. I was like, "Who won?" I was like, "Oh, it was Palou," and I was like, "How the hell did that happen?" And then I looked up the results, and I was extremely happy. As you can see, I'm wearing my only racing shirt. It's the Aero McLaren. It's my Pato Award shirt. I was happy because Pato and Rossi ended up 2 and 3. It would have been better to have an all McLaren podium.
Almost. But
I feel like if Rossi keeps it up and Rosenquist, has some better luck, it might happen. But I mean, Rosenquist has been doing really good when it comes to Go Fast Day.
Yeah,
this year. He's had I think quite a few front row starts this season, and I think, didn't he make pole at Texas?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so who knows, what this weekend we'll see with I think it's qualifying this weekend for the Indy 500.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they have like a practice or something earlier this week, and then
because we'll actually have bump day this year.
Because we have
33
entries
cars,
and we have 34 entries. It's another freaking Daytona 500 situation where it's like, just let them in. Just let the freaking car in. I know it's Indianapolis. You have enough pit stalls. Just let the team race.
Yeah.
What does that? It's amazing that, first of all, you were able to get that many engines from the manufacturers. Just let the car in.
Yeah, Saturday is qualifying.
Which I guess you still have to qualify anyway for the race. Like, qualifications for the Indy 500 aren't just, setting a time. It's making sure that your time is fast enough to not be a danger on the track, which is
looking at the schedule for the Indy 500. Monday, May 22nd is practice number 8.
Oh, jeez.
There are 7 practices this weekend, along with qualifying, top 12 and last chance practice, top 12 qualifications. The Fast 6 is actually Sunday. So it's 2 days worth of qualifying this weekend.
Holy moly.
And then Monday, Friday is carb day, which is bump day. And then, Sunday is the race. So.
Wow. So they're going to be doing this all the way up until the race.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then nothing till Friday, and then just Sunday. So nothing next Saturday.
Oh. So they get to have a day off.
Yes.
Before they, perform the greatest spectacle in racing, or so
Yeah,
they say.
which
I'm gonna watch it with
high hopes.
yeah. I mean,
Positive outlook on.
yeah, I'm gonna go in with a clean slate. This.
I mean,
Uh,
if it's as exciting as Texas was,
I hope it is.
every week he gets tangled in my headphone cords.
I swear, Texas was probably the best race of this season.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely agree. They got to make their guest appearance this week.
He wanted to lick the microphone,
yeah,
and talk.
Oh, you don't want to hear him talk. But yeah, I'll watch it. What time does Monaco start? Is that
Oh God, probably early in the morning.
because it's usually almost like right, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I think all of them do a pretty good job of trying to not step on each other on that day, since it's the big three, quote unquote, big three races. Is the 600 actually good?
I mean, it should be a fairly good race. Last year it was good. It's a mile and a half, and the new car has been racing best on the mile and a half. So I would say it should be at least fairly good. I mean, 600 miles, it's going to be, the first bit's probably going to be pretty drawn out and boring because they'll, just kind of follow the leader. But you're going to have a lot of attrition with a 600-mile race, between pit stops and people getting tired and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know what the weather looks like in Charlotte this week, but, if it's hot, that's a long race for it to be a hot day.
Oh, yeah. So at least there might be one good race, one or two, because we both know Monaco is going to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it does every year. I mean, the most exciting thing to happen at Monaco was maybe when Valtteri Bottas got his wheel nut stuck and they had to retire the car.
Yeah, it'll be 81 in Charlotte this week. Oh, wait. No, wait.
It's next week.
Next week, yeah. Next week.
Yeah, because they're
85.
85 degrees.
In Charlotte, so it'll be humid as all hell, too.
Yeah, F1's at Imola this week. IndyCar is off. And it's the All-Star for NASCAR,
race.
North Wilkesboro.
Which, yeah, we can just transition since
the little track that could.
Only because of Redneck Jesus. I mean, without Dale Jr. Yeah, trying to push for that on iRacing and, getting that group together to go clean the track so iRacing could scan it. I don't think this ever would have happened.
iRacing is so weird. By the way, people that post like their shots of it, and I'm just like, This looks like crap.
It does look like crap, but it is probably, I would say, the closest to driving a real car. I mean, I wouldn't know what it's like to drive on the tracks, but like just going from driving your car to like driving on there, I would say it's got to be the closest. But yes, graphically, it does look like poop.
It looks like
PlayStation,
an early 2000s NASCAR PlayStation game.
Yeah, maybe play PS3, Xbox 360 level
the ones
graphics.
you would just play with the joysticks on the controller. And wonder why you wreck every lap.
But yeah, I mean, I've dabbled in it because without spending a whole bunch of money, you kind of get limited on what you can do on there. Because I think we talked about this, every track is like $15 to $20. every different car is like $20 or $15. So, I mean, you could spend hundreds of dollars before you even exit the rookie levels up there. So,
Dang.
yeah, but excited for the race this week. We can kind of transition that with this week at Darlington. Kind of short track, not really short track, but we claim it's a short track because it's shorter than the others.
There's like only 3 short tracks.
Yeah, I don't. I would.
Or if we're counting North Wilkesboro, 5 if we're counting the All-Star race, which we're not.
Yeah. These are both exhibitions, so I mean, I'm excited to see it. I don't think North Wilkesboro's been raced since I was like 7 years old.
Dang.
So I think it was 97 that it was its last race. So
Now, was it a NASCAR track back then, or
yeah, it was a NASCAR
okay?
track. They opened, I think, Texas, and they took the dates away from North Wilkesboro.
Because that's a great trade-off.
Yeah. Yeah, in the 90s when they built all of these mile and a halves, we lost tracks like North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. So,
And then we have tracks like Kentucky that just
disappeared.
It's a a parking lot for
Ford, I think.
Ford trucks that have no chips. Yeah, we drive past it when we go on vacation down to Florida, and I mean, we literally like right when the pandemic was our first year driving down because we didn't want to fly, and you could just see all of these trucks parked in their parking lot. Like, holy crap.
But yeah, did you get to watch any of Darlington this week?
I didn't. I did see some highlights.
NASCAR's main character at his doing his thing yet again this week, and
Dr. Evil of NASCAR.
Good old Ross Chastain, Ross Crashstain, Ross. I want to be the Intimidator, Chastain. I am a Kyle Larson fan, but I do think Chastain is good for the sport. This is the 3rd week in a row. Everyone's talking about him. Everyone's talking about NASCAR. You can't really complain. You can if you're the 5 team. This is the Cliff Daniels. I don't know if you caught the radioactive of him. Thank you, Chevy. This is the 3rd week. The number 1 is taking us out of the race, and it is the 3rd week. He's been involved with something in the 5 car. Going back to Kentucky or Talladega, it was when he tried to pass Gregson and cause that problem. Last week it was when he moved the 15 out of the way, and Kyle Larson just was involved in it. And then this week, racing hard, and
it's pretty blatant.
Yeah, racing hard and ran out of talent. He tried, Larson kind of pushed him up the track on the first restart, and even on the radio transmission, Chastain is back and forth with his crew chief and spotter trying to figure out what lane to take on the choose, because he was afraid KL was going to do it to him right back. And he tried to get up ahead of it and continue to push Kyle up, and he ran out of talent. I do have to say, Kyle pushing him all the way through the turns and just not letting off of the gas was hilarious, because he easily could have turned away from him and gone down the track, but he just continued to push him through the turns. So yeah, I mean, pretty good race. I don't know if that finish like that kind of skewed how I felt about the race, because for the most part it was kind of just another race, and then you kind of get an exciting finish like that. But hey, Ross Chastain he's keeping it exciting every week.
Yeah, I mean, I saw like there were a couple, smaller accidents that happened, throughout, but nothing major.
Yeah, no, I mean pretty clean uneventful race. Um, kind of one of those feelings. I hope this doesn't become a theme this season of you waited all that time, you watched it for 3 hours for Willie B to win. 100th win for the 2014 though.
Wow.
The number
He's
20,
he's turning into the Max Verstappen of NASCAR.
the uh between Jeff Gordon and William Byron, the 100th win for the Hendrick 24 car. Um, but yeah, for the most part, short of Chastain, mixing it up with everybody yesterday, I don't know how exciting the race would have been. You kind of had the same front runners all race. The ending did mix it up. You had a couple, surprises in the top five. Chase Elliott getting his first top five since coming back from the leg injury. Your boy Brad Keselowski, 4th place. Bubba Wallace, I think he's on a top 5 or top 10 streak now.
That's good because he was
He
not having a
needed it,
good
yeah.
season at all
And
earlier in the year.
this is 23XI's, I want to say, 3rd year in the Cup Series, and they've every season they've started off real slow and picked up momentum as they've gone. I know Tyler Reddick he did get a win earlier in the season, right? At this point, it's been so many, but you got Harrison Burton with a top 10. I know a lot of people have had questions about his season this year. But yeah, I mean, I would say for the most part, an okay race. Better than most, but not all that exciting.
I mean, looking at some of these guys, I mean, Kevin Harvick started in 20th
Yeah,
and
well,
ended up in second.
he probably and that was something I wanted to bring up. He probably should have finished a little lower in the rankings there, because after that last big wreck that everyone was involved in, or maybe it was the second to last one of those restarts where it was the last one. He was involved in that wreck. He had damage from that wreck. So he probably should have fallen back, but NASCAR kind of just went with running order, I think, probably just to get the race done with. But yeah, I don't.
Wow. So I'm looking here at the things and it said, that Byron's grandfather passed away on
Yeah,
Thursday.
on Thursday.
So, I mean, it's great for him to be able to pull off, another win and, in tribute.
Yeah, I do feel kind of bad saying, "Oh, it's just another Willie B win," but yeah, it seems like every year in NASCAR, you kind of get someone that goes on a tear, especially early, midway through the season.
Well, wasn't that like um Gibbs last year? Didn't he win and his father passed away like that
Yeah,
day?
it was that night. It was the
Yeah.
night he won the championship, and yeah, his dad passed away that night. And he was supposed to race the Cup race the next day, and I don't think he ended up doing that. But
So let me It's time for Kyle to be a controversial opinion. I hate the throwbacks. I think they're so stupid because the sponsors don't even match. The numbers don't match. You're just throwing a livery on there and it makes no sense.
Yeah,
I think they should only be allowed to run ones that number has ran.
Yeah.
Like it just looks stupid when you have somebody a car that has a livery of another car. So it's like, okay, and then they just look like fancy versions of their sponsor's normal livery.
I would say the one who did it right this week was Chase Elliott, throwing back to his dad in the Evernham days, where it was just a red car, white decals. They did the correct number font, even though his dad raced the 19, not the 9 at the time.
It's close though.
Yeah, it's close enough. But I mean, the Willie B one, once the sun came out and you saw the gold in it, that one looked really good. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I listened to Denny's show and the teardown today at work, and that was kind of the unanimous thought process on it, that the throwbacks have kind of run its course.
Yeah, I mean, how many of these can you actually do?
Yeah, you know.
And you have some of these drivers like it's just so annoying. Like, well, you can have the Viagra car with like Hunt Brothers Pizza on it, like
Yeah.
And this is similar stuff like that happens where it's like
it
doesn't make sense. Like you're gonna have run a UPS livery on a car that
it was Worldwide Technologies on the side, but they did have UPS on the hood.
Yeah, but it wasn't even close. Wasn't it the 45 that ran that?
The UPS? No,
or
one. Chastain's one car had the UPS one.
That's not even close to the number, though.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the number they were throwing back to?
Yeah.
I think so. It was something like that because it was Dale Jarrett. So, but yeah, I do think
because that was the 88. You're gonna run it on the one car, like it doesn't. It's so annoying.
The throwbacks have kind of run its course. You know, it was fun the first couple of years. It's fun when you do have sponsors that'll go all in. There was a Corey LaJoy car a few years back that he ran, and he's in the number 7, but they were throwing back to a 777 car, and they threw that in, but you know, it looked old school. It looked, you know, like something you would see back in the day. But yeah, some of these throwbacks, you're just like, who are you going for there? You know, you had Kyle Busch this week. He threw back to himself from 4 weeks ago when he got his win.
Really?
I don't think they actually did a throwback. I think they just ran another Lucas scheme. But that was the joke, that, you know, he was throwing back to himself. I'm trying to find on NASCAR's website the throwbacks from this week. But yeah, to see if
Darlington has some of them. Yeah, Darlington has all of them. Darlington's website.
But
so what? Denny Hamlin just ran one of his old ones?
I don't even know if he ran.
It has a Federal Express.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then like the number 12 Menards one. Like Dave Blaney, Ryan Blaney going after his dad. You're gonna base it off of a freaking sprint car?
Yeah, why
How
not?
does that? It doesn't. It makes no sense. It looks so stupid. It's not even the same blue or gold because he had to probably contractually have the Menards yellow on
Yellow,
there.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, the Ross Chastain one just annoys me because it's like, no, it's 88 is the UPS.
the Almirola throwing back to Dale Jr.
What was even the sponsor of Dale Jr.'s?
Bud.
Bud, and it's Smithfield.
I could see those two though. Beer, bacon. I do kind of like the 99 Quaker State car.
It does look good.
You know, they went with like an old school 99 font there. And like I said, that Exalta 24 once it hit the sun. But I mean, that Exalta there, it could be any paint ski. You know what I mean? That could be one
Yeah.
they run. And I really hate with this, with the numbers moved forward, that
They couldn't just sneak. DuPont couldn't just. I know they cut ties, but they couldn't come back for one race.
but you couldn't kind of tilt that Exalta a little bit, maybe make it a little longer to fill that area.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like it was slapped on there. Like they did a really crappy Photoshop job.
Yeah.
And we're just like, shove it on. It's fine. And then who was Logano supposed to be?
To Roger Team Penske's first win.
Oh,
It was an AMC Matador.
I mean, I like that one. It looks
Yeah.
neat. The Pennzoil again, like you have this really weird the shell logo, but below the shell logo is just kind of an empty space on the side, which is annoying.
But yeah, I do think the throwbacks have kind of run its course, you know.
Oh God, they do them on all of them.
Yeah, they
Even
do
the
all three series.
Xfinity and all that.
Yeah. Actually, I think a lot of the Xfinity ones look better than the Cup ones. If you click on the article, that Ryan Ellis 43 thrown back to Kevin Harvick, I mean, Goodwrench isn't a thing anymore, but the Corvette parts, that fits really well with the sponsor.
It's still up, something to do with parts.
GM and yeah. But yeah, I think Xfinity does a lot of things better than the Cup Series does.
Oh, Barry. Oh, I thought it was a Dale Jr.
Yeah, no, it was Hut Strickland.
Why didn't he just go with his boss?
Yeah. Come on, Redneck Jesus is too humble for that. Have you, the tangent here, have you ever listened to the Dale Jr. download?
I have not. Do you want to know a really horrible thing? I hate listening to motorsport podcasts. Which is, I get the irony in that.
For the most part, I really only listen to 3 now.
Denny Hamlin's.
I listen
Dale
to Denny.
Jr.'s.
No, actually, for the most part, I haven't listened to Dale a whole lot. I'll watch his clips on YouTube sometimes, or if they come up like scrolling through Facebook, you'll get the clips of the segments. I'll watch those, but no, for the most part, it's the teardown. Because that gives you a good summary of whatever races were that weekend, mainly NASCAR, but occasionally you'll get the Indy and F1 races thrown in there. I do the teardown, Actions Detrimental, which is Denny's, because I do like that look inside from the driver. And then I listen to Door Bumper Clear. Those are the NASCAR spotters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so those two, between Denny and Door Bumper, you get a good inside look into the sport. one of the guys on Door Bumper Clear. He doesn't spot as much anymore. He's more of a marketing and sales guy. So you kind of get a little more in depth onto some of the day-to-days with racing and stuff like that. And I mean, he's been around the sport for like 20, 25 years.
Maybe I'm just so jaded because all I've listened to are F1
Yeah.
podcasts, and they're so annoying because there's so many of them, and a lot of them are of people who have like no clue about racing, and
They're Drive to Survivors.
Yeah, and they're like, let's make a podcast about F1, and
yeah, that I mean,
and, oh my god, and they're like, so like, what did they do, and how'd they do this, and that'd be like you and I knowing nothing about racing, and we were like, we're just gonna start doing this.
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
it's not gonna work.
Yeah, for the most part, like I've tried different.
And they get listens because they're talking about F1, and that's the stupid hot topic these days. Here we go, shitting on F1 again.
I was gonna say, I mean, we've had this discussion multiple times about how
you have infected me
about Drive to Survivors and all of that, where it's just.
Are we gonna get 100 Day to Indiers? No, we're gonna get the Drive to Survivors coming to IndyCar races because they can't afford F1 races, and they're going to be.
I saw something from a F1 interview. I don't know if it was a podcast or like one of the media things, and it might have been Esteban that they asked the question to. It was like, what do you think would make F1 better? And Jamie Price shared this TikTok today. It was Jamie Price TikTok. Yeah, and it was, I think it was Ocon. Someone asking Ocon what would make IndyCar, or what would make F1 better, and he said same car. Everyone gets the same car, and it's a stitch of Jamie Price coming in and saying, "You just described IndyCar. Watch IndyCar."
I mean, it would be cool to have, you know, a series. We can still have it like souped up and, you know, everything, and maybe the teams work together or whatever to like create the car, and then you're still traveling around the world. Maybe the schedule's a little put together better, so you know their 2030 goal is a bunch of BS of being, you know, because they're going from, you know, the Middle East to Australia to back to Europe to the United States, back to Europe, all over the place. But it would be cool. Let's just make international IndyCar, and it's just F1, and it will be way more exciting.
Yeah,
IndyCar will be pissed. They're like, hey, this was our thing.
I think this is something we've talked about just about every week that we've discussed. F1 is, I mean, you've got Red Bull, who's out to a 20-second lead, 15 laps in, and the rest of no one cares about the rest of the race.
Or do it like IMSA does, and you have a handful, a few manufacturers and a few engine suppliers, and then you have to pick out of that.
Yeah,
because I mean, IndyCar wasn't always just one chassis. It was, sort of a manufacturer league back in the days, and there were the different tires and everything, but they decided, hey, this is a lot cheaper and easier.
Yeah, you have
so let's just do this.
A lot of the series go into, I mean, NASCAR's basically the same thing with the spec car. You have the different bodies and the different engines and everything, but you've got the SRX where that is literally all. Oh, well, where my SRX hoodie?
Yeah, you literally just get assigned a car.
Yeah,
the only difference is the stripe. Isn't it stripe is the only difference? Is the color?
Yeah, what your basically what your colors are is just, you know, I think they'll give you your numbers because Greg Biffle was the 69 every time. But yeah, you just, all right, Haley Deegan, you're in the blue car this week. Tony Kanon, you're in the pink car this week. Yeah, you're just randomly assigned a car.
I mean, look at every other formula out there. It's the same
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
and they're way more competitive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You just, when you have I mean, you have a team that can just get ahead by 30 seconds, who's really going to want to watch? Who's going to want to take the time out of their week to watch every week?
I think they need to make the cars shorter again.
Yes.
The cars are just too gigantic. It's funny, IndyCar and F1 have like swapped places because Indy cars used to be massive,
Yeah.
and now Indy cars are these like tight little cars, and the F1 cars are these gigantic beasts.
Yeah. You're starting to freeze up.
Oh, yippee.
The internet problems have struck. I mean, it could be me. I don't know. I was trying to look up fantasy stuff real quick. Are you there?
Okay.
Okay.
The funny thing is, the recording's going to hear both of us.
Going. Are you there?
Are you there? Hello? Hello? Are you there?
All right.
With
Well,
just spinning wheels.
let's try and get through the rest of this while we still can.
All right. So we'll start off with IndyCar. It's the first time we've left. Normally it's F1, then NASCAR, then IndyCar.
Yeah.
So I picked for the GMR Grand Prix, Christian Lundgaard, O'Ward, Harvey, and Armstrong. And Armstrong just because I ran out of money. Even though he didn't do too bad, I don't think. Where did he finish? He finished 15th. That's not bad.
That's not bad. No.
No.
Yeah, I definitely came out the big winner this week in IndyCar with Palou, Rosenquist, Harvey, and Peterson. And then my podium, Palou, O'Ward, and Rosenquist. For a total of 145.5 points.
And you also beat me on our predictions because you had Rossi and I had Ericsson.
Okay, Ericsson finished 8th. I was like, where did he even finish?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where he finishes this year in the 500. You know, a lot of pressure on him to do well this year. One thing I do want to mention about IndyCar, and I forgot to mention at the top of the show, a great weekend for RLL.
Yeah.
I mean, to get 2 cars in the top 6 in the Fast 6 for qualifying is insane. You know, you had Lundgaard and Harvey, and then Ray Hall was, in the second round in the 12. And then looks like Harvey finished 20th. But Graham Rahal got 10th and Lundgaard got 4th. So that's not bad for RLL. I mean,
yeah, not a bad day for them at all.
Doesn't look like it was a great day for Andretti or Penske. Scott McLaughlin with the worst finish for Penske at 16th.
Yeah,
That's not great.
not great.
And then Grosjean all the way down in 11th. His qualifying was bad too. He was really
Yeah.
pissed off. If you saw qualifying,
Did they qualify on Friday or Saturday?
on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
whole
so,
end of last week is just kind of a blur with
yeah,
those working Saturdays for me always just kind of throw me off.
The Indy road courses, they're both on Saturdays. This one, I don't know if it's just because IndyCar actually cares about moms, and they're like, we're not going to race.
I
Whereas
kind of wish
NASCAR
NASCAR would have done a Saturday night race.
It would have been better.
Yeah, I think we only have a handful. And of course, just like everything else, it's driven by TV. That's why the races don't start till 3:00 every day. You know, all of that. It's all driven by TV. They get better ratings Sunday afternoon than a Saturday night. But there's only a handful of Saturday night races. And, you know, sometimes I really like those Saturday night races.
So, so Larson, it declined to speak to
The
to
media,
the media pool
yeah.
on last night. What should we ask him tomorrow if we get a chance?
Nothing about that. I can tell you that much.
And I'm not going to shove the microphone in his face like that one reporter did. Kyle, what's your thoughts on the incident? Yeah, on Sunday. Fuck off. I'm not at a NASCAR event. I don't have to be polite.
Yeah, right.
And NASCAR fantasy, of course, I forgot.
So did I, and I still beat you. And I still don't know how there's only a 12-point difference between our day yesterday, or 22-point difference between our day. But you're still beating me.
Maybe I'll forget again this week.
I had Willie B in my in my team, and I'd Willie and Bubba at least get me some good points this week. Oh, and Blaney. I mean,
yeah, I had none of those people.
Yeah, so we need to remember to set them this week.
Yeah, we have to remember that in F1.
The worst part is you told me Saturday to set IndyCar. And usually what I do is when I set them, I'll do both of them or all three of them. Either if you've told me or I'll try and tell you to set them. And I don't, like I said, these Saturdays that I work just really throw me off.
Yeah, the IndyCar race it threw me off because normally they're earlier in the day, around like noon.
Yeah.
And that's why I was freaking out because I woke up and I was like, crap, I didn't set my fantasy for IndyCar because I thought the race was at I thought it was like 11:45 or whatever. And then I looked and I was like, oh, it's at 3:30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, that's a late race.
So for picks this week, we'll do F1. Do you want to do, since qualifying is Sunday, you want to pick, who do you think gets the pole for the 500?
Were they finalizing it this week?
Sunday, May 21st, qualifications, last chance, Firestone Fast 6.
Oh, okay.
So that would be Sunday from 4 to 6.
All right. Let's see. Oh, who do I want? I'm going to go with Newgarden.
Damn it. I think that's who I was looking to pick.
I mean, Rosenquist is great on ovals this year, so great it. Or
Let's go with Scott Dixon.
Dixon. What was my other pick? Just because I really want to see him get a pole at some point soon. I'm really hoping that Grosjean just wins the 500 though. So for our Darlington picks, we did another random one, and it was who did Ross Chastain piss off the most, and you picked.
I had Kyle Busch.
B, and I had Larson.
I had it in the first half, but no,
I think
just had to.
You never know what you're gonna get with.
Like I said, just he's got that main character energy. He's got to be in the headlines every week. Great for the sport. Bad for whoever your favorite driver is.
So for the All-Star, what do we want to do?
I'd say who doesn't get in, but that's a hard one because there's so many different.
Oh, do they cut it off at a certain amount?
Fastest pit team.
That's how they do it?
No, because there's a.
Okay.
There's
challenge?
usually a pit challenge. So, usually Gibbs or Hendrick. I think Ross's team had the fastest stop of the year this year. But
I'll let you pick first.
I'm going to say Willie B.
All right. I'm going to go with...
I was going to say, usually you can pick a Gibbs or Hendrick team. And
go with... Is Barry still driving?
Yeah.
48? I'm going to go with Barry.
All
and
right. Then
F1. God, what kind of one do we want to do for this?
Who's third?
I mean, that's a good one.
Okay. But at that point, I'm just picking Alonso.
And I'll pick
Hamilton, Stroll, Russell.
I'll pick Leclerc. And maybe Ferrari will do a decent job.
Yeah.
So along with so it's our picks for this coming weekend. So along with tomorrow being high limit, and we'll be doing that. We also have our first World of Outlaws this coming Saturday, and a trip to Sharon Speedway.
World of Outlaws sprints this weekend, and then late models next weekend. So it's gonna be a bit. We are coming into the dirty picture season here because we've got these next 2 weekends with World of Outlaws, then that off weekend, and then All-Star Circuit of Champions the second week of June, 2 at Wayne County, and there's 1 at Sharon, I think, as well. So yeah, it's just we're getting right into that season of
Wayne County is a 2-day. It's a Sunday Monday, which is a weird one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I love the sprint cars. I mean, we've talked about that at this point it's become probably my favorite form of racing.
They are. I mean, we talked about last week, but going to a proper dirt track for the first time, it was absolutely amazing. I'm excited to see, the cars tomorrow,
the pros tomorrow.
Yeah, see the.
Speaking of tomorrow, don't forget earplugs.
Yes, I I have them in my camera bag.
I was gonna say, text me tomorrow at work, and I'll throw some extras in my camera bag.
Yeah, I stole some from work.
Yeah, that's we've got a box of them at work that I don't know if anyone's ever even used. So
Yeah, I don't know why we have them at my work. It's not like we have anything loud. But they're just down in the shop, so I grabbed a couple.
OSHA and just proper PPE.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, anything else this week?
I don't think so.
This
We'll
might
keep
be
it
one of our shorter shows, but
we'll keep it short this week because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk about next Monday.
oh yeah, with both of those going, both the sprint car series, yeah, it's gonna be
We're gonna be talking dirt. We're gonna be talking NASCAR, IndyCar, and Formula One.
yeah, so when next week's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about. But thanks for watching, listening, or whatever you do. And we'll catch you next Monday.
All right, see you later.
See you later, guys.